What up, YouTube? Is your boy Mike for Xbox One World, bringing you guys my thoughts on these overalls of these NFL teams for Man 18. And some of these overalls are kind of bullshit that EA has done here. So let's start off with Arizona, 82 overall. I don't think they're 82, 85 at least. They were not a bad team last year, just injury prone last year. Was this team last year? But at 82, come on, man. Yeah, what the fuck are you doing? I don't get it. And don't get me started. I'm just getting started. Because some of these overalls are ridiculous. The Chargers, 80. They were okay of a team last year, but I will at least have them at a 79, 78. Um, Angeles. Um, so I believe they're always getting good overalls every year, and they're not. In the last couple years, they have not been really a good team. So I don't agree with that rating right there. I believe like a 78, 79 will be more for them. The Kansas City Chiefs, I have them right there. Yeah, they just let go of Macklin. But the overall, I'm not gonna argue with that. They're a well balanced team. Under Andy Reid and stuff like that. So I mean, 87, I won't argue with that. The Colts, another team that hasn't been good in the last couple of years. I don't agree with this rating. I believe like a 79, 78 will be a good rating for them. Andrew Luck has been hurt for the past 2 years, play off and on, and now that he's coming back from a shoulder injury, he's probably not even going to start the season. So, you know, they have some weapons. They still have Andre Johnson and Frank Gore, but they're getting past their time in the NFL. So, Cowboys, I'm surprised they're not even higher than this. Um, at an 89, but their secondary was um, they got Prescott, they got Zeke. It's gonna be a good team to use, even though I'm not gonna use them because I hate the fucking Cowboys. Um, so I don't know. This it's okay. I thought they would have been rated higher, because Cowboys every year they always find a way to be rated real high, especially when their season sometimes went 6-8 or 7-9, they still got rated pretty high. But 89, okay, whatever. Miami Dolphins, I thought they would have been rated a little higher than this, even after making the playoffs last year. You got Tyler Hill, now you got Cutler on your team. Their defense wasn't that bad last year. And they got some good receivers over there in Miami. If they can put it together, hopefully they'll give the New England Patriots a run for their money. So 83, I would have won at least an 80, to be honest, an 85 with them, 85, 86. You got Dominic and Sue in there. You got some pieces there in Miami. Uh, don't even get me started with this fucking overall. My Eagles are 70. Are you fucking kidding me, EA? Are you kidding me? I would at least a 82. And I know that it might change when the game or when the season starts to go along, and depends on the wins. But you got Carson, which he's gonna be a freaking monster. And then you had Jeffrey Smith. You got Blunt. Um, their defense is not that bad. My only concern is the corners, but they have a stud of a defensive line, some good linebackers. I don't agree at all with this 78 overall. 82 would have been. I would have took an 82, but a 78 is a slap in the face of the Philadelphia Eagles. And that's just is my team, so I'm just biased on that. It's bullshit. But then if we if we make it to the Super Bowl, we won the Super Bowl, and then Cowboys finish 7-9, then they give Dallas a higher fucking rating. It's just bias, in my opinion, when it comes to these ratings. Atlanta Falcons, no surprise, at 91. I thought they would have been rated a little higher than a 91. I thought they would have probably been rated like a 94. Only reason I said because their defense was really good last year with takeaways, and for them to choke in the Super Bowl the way they did was kind of ridiculous, giving up a 25-point lead. They should have won that Super Bowl last year. Brady and them got lucky, so it's gonna be interesting how they respond this year when the season starts. The 49ers, a 76. They really don't have a team, man. They don't have even an identity yet. New coach. Um, you know, overall, not that bad, 76. Just 2 points away from the Eagles, which our team is more talented than the 49ers. The Giants at 84. Uh, you know, I thought they would probably been rated like 87, 88. And the only reason I'm saying that because their defense, their secondary is really good. And their front four put a lot of pressure. You still got Eli, you got Beckham, and you got some other pieces there. I think what hurt them last year was their running game. Running game was not even all that great. So, I mean, I would have gave the Giants at least an 86. I mean, my fiance is a Giants fan. My brother-in-laws are Giants fans. They're from New York. But 84, like I said, 86, 87, I would have gave the Giants because they're going to be a good team this year if they can put it together and Eli don't make too many mistakes. But, I mean, at 86, 85, I would have gave the Giants. Jacksonville Jaguars, one of them teams that have the talent but can't put it together, especially with their quarterback. I don't know if anybody saw a video of the receiver complaining how his quarterback bored us through overthrew, so he should have just kept that shit. But they got problems over there in Jacksonville, and I don't know if it's the quarterback, but they got the team, man. They're always getting first-round draft picks in the last couple of years. This team hasn't been good since the Mark Brunell days and Tom Coughlin when they first came into the league, and I would like to see the Jacksonville Jaguars in the playoffs. It'll be interesting. But 77, I would have gave them 76, 75. But, Izzy A, so we're going to see how they do. The Jets, 75. I'm okay with that because, they didn't really have a quarterback. They got rid of a lot of pieces in that team. They got rid of Marshall, Decker, Fitzpatrick is gone, so now they're trying to find out their identity. Jets are one of those teams, man. They're good one year, and then the next year they're bad. So we're gonna see how they do this year. Can they bounce back under Tom Bowles, or Todd Bowles, whatever, former Eagles defensive coordinator, Arizona's defensive coordinator. So we're gonna see. The Lions 81. I would have given them an 82, 83. They were a playoff team last year. Offensive, they were really good offensively. Matt Stafford did his thing. So we're going to be interested to see how they come back. Can they make it back-to-back to the playoffs? Lions are usually, they make the playoff one year and the next year they don't. So, can they keep it for 2 years in a row? That's going to be interesting in Detroit. Packers at 88. I'm okay with that. I mean, you got Aaron Rodgers. I think their problem last year was their defense. Too many big plays. They gave up, especially in the NFC Championship game where they got torched by Atlanta. So Green Bay is always going to be in the conversation of can they make it to the Super Bowl. If they can get their defense together, Aaron Rodgers in the helm, there's going to be a dangerous team. The Panthers are 79. I'm okay with that because they were injured riddled last year. Cam Newton didn't play his best football. I believe he won MVP the year before that, and then he struggled after the Super Bowl season. So 79, or I can work with that. They got a lot to prove, and can they get back to the promised land? And he said he wants to get back there. So, they got some, after they let go of Josh Norman, their corners have been horrible, giving up big plays, missed tackles. So they need to get it together in Carolina. New England, the defending Super Bowl champions. I'm surprised with just the 93. Uh, they they just added Brandon Cooks from the Saints, so you figure they would have jumped at least a 95. But every year the Patriots always in the 90s. That's no surprise. The Raiders, would have, I thought they would have been like an 89. They have a good defense. They gave a lot of big plays last year, but when they needed to make a stop, they made stops, and their offense is ridiculous good. Now you get add beast mode, Marshawn Lynch. This probably will be the team if they can get their defense together. Besides the Broncos, because the Broncos got a pretty decent defense, can give New England a run for their money and can dethrone the New England Patriots. So I would have gave Oakland Raiders 89. They got a good young quarterback in Carr. Before he got injured, I think if he did not get injured last year at the end of the year, it would have been Oakland and New England in the AFC Championship game. But their backup quarterback was not even that good, and Houston just mopped up the floor with them. The Rams, 75. I agree with that rating. Still young, talented team though, man. Talented on defense, and they just can't put it together, man. That's why Jeff Fisher lost his job, yo. But they got ways to go, man. If they can get this young quarterback to develop, I think they should have just put him in the season like the Eagles did with Carson Wentz, and Carson Wentz did his thing. So now they turn them the keys. Let's see what they can do in LA. Baltimore Ravens, man, 84 I would have gave them, not an 80. Good defensive team. You still got Joe Flacco over there making throws, but 80 I think is a disrespect to the Ravens here. I think an 84 because their defense was good last year. Offense is the only thing that hurt them last year was their offense because they didn't score at that many points, but their defense kept them in the game. So, I would have given them an 84. I agree with this rating just because they lost a lot of pieces on offense. Jackson, Gerson, Pierre Gerson, like they lost pieces. So, uh, Kirk Cousins could this be his final year? He wants to stay in the in Redskins for his career, but I think, and mark my word, he's going to be a San Francisco 49er next year, and he's going to bring the 49ers back to a playoff contender. I believe that Kirk Cousins will be a 49er by next year. They're not gonna come to a long-term deal. They're not gonna want to pay him all that money. He's gonna end up walking, and he's gonna go to a team that's gonna pay him that money. I don't agree with this rating, 84 for the Saints. I know you added Peterson, but you gave away your best receiver in Brandon Cooks in trade, and then you traded the year before that, 2 years before that, Jimmy Graham. Their defense is still an issue in New Orleans, and they kind of got to fix that. But I would have given them an 80 overall for the Saints, even though the offense is still explosive. But you lose your tight end 2 years ago, and then your best receiver, and you in a trade. Nah, 80 overall would have been my overall for the Saints. And then you have Drew Brees. He's getting up there in age, but he's still playing at a top level at the quarterback position. And he doesn't make too many mistakes with the football neither. 86 overall, Seattle Seahawks, just about right. They do got some kinks. They're not the same defense when they won a Super Bowl. So people are exploiting them a little bit more. They got some weapons on offense. You got Jimmy Graham, Wilson, and some young other receivers that will keep them in playoff contention for a while. Pittsburgh Steelers 88. Not really. 85. I would have given them because their defense was the issue last year. They gave a lot of big plays as well, just like some of these top defenses. They gave up a lot of big plays. Big Ben, a monster, played hurt, I believe, a few games last year, but still made some throws and got his team, but I think they took a shellacking in that AFC Championship game to the Patriots. Houston, I'm surprised with this overall rating. I thought they would have been rated in the mid 80s, but a 79, and their defense was pretty good. And I think it comes down to the quarterback position. They don't know what their quarterback is going to be like, but I'm very surprised with this overall rating. I would have rated them an 85, just because you got J.J. Watt, Clowney. Their defensive corners were pretty good last year. I guess it just boils down to the quarterback situation right now. You got Watson, who's just coming out of college, winning a national championship. So I'm kind of surprised with this overall. Tennessee, wow. I'm okay with this overall rating for them. And the only reason I say that because their defense was good last year. They made some plays. They got a 1-2 punch in the running back position. Man, that is unstoppable. And then you got Marcus Mariota coming back. I truly believe that this is one of the dark horses that in this year's, I think Tennessee's going to make the playoffs if Mariota stay healthy and he doesn't make too many mistakes with the football. Tennessee will be playoff bound this year. But this is like their man. I haven't seen them this high on an overall rating since like Madden 10 or when Eddie George was on the cover when they were good in Tennessee. But there's going to be a sleeper right here, guys. Tennessee Titans. Minnesota Vikings, I'm surprised. Their defense was good. It just too many injuries last year. I'm not even going to argue with that overall. You got Bradford, you got Bridgewater. Who's going to be your starter? Nobody knows just yet in Minnesota, but I believe it's going to be Bradford to start it off. And if he doesn't play well, I think Bridgewater will come back and try to get his job back. Chicago, I agree with this team trying to find identity here. I think if John Fox continue to pull the strings, they'll be back to a playoff contender sooner than later. Cincinnati, I'm surprised with this overall because they've been a good team for years. 78. They still got Dalton. Their defense was pretty good last year. Not great, but kept them in a lot of games. So I'm kind of surprised with this 78 over. Buffalo, they just got rid of Sammy Watkins. They got Jordan Matthews in a trade. I don't know. Why would you rate them 83? They have not made the playoffs in God knows how long. I think 13, 14 years straight. And, they got McCoy, they got Taylor, but still, higher than my Eagles, that's a disrespect. I'm sorry. Broncos, I'm surprised with this 82 overall because they got a secondary that's out of this fucking world. And you got Von Miller. I would have figured they would have been rated a little higher, like 85 or something like that, but I'm surprised with that. Cleveland Browns, of course, 76 always at the bottom of the barrel. Trying to find identity, so hopefully this year they'll win more than one game. And it'll be fun to watch this year. Tampa Bay, I'm surprised. I thought they would have been a little bit upper. They were a 10-6 team, I believe, last year. Just missed the playoffs. So they're going to be a team that you guys got to watch out for. But I think they're going to be good if Jameis Winston keeps on developing. Now you got Deshaun Jackson, Mike Evans on one end. Oh, man, the sky's going to be the limit for this team. And Arizona 82 overall, which, like I said, that was kind of weird. Hopefully you guys like this, my breakdown on the overalls and my thoughts. Like some of these overalls are not. It's kind of bullshit the way EA did it, man. But some of these teams should be a little lower. Some of these will be a little higher. Based on like what I in the NFL last year and their injuries and stuff like that. So let me know what you guys think about your overall. What would you rate your overalls? Make sure you guys comment and like and subscribe, guys, to the channel for more, rants of the game. Later on, I'm gonna do what I think of the game so far. There's some issues that I see in the game so far that I don't like, and it's gonna kind of I truly believe it's gonna mess up the game. I think EA is always trying to rush this every year. So hopefully you guys like, comment, and subscribe to this for more Madden 18 tips, guys. It's your boy, my first box.